Well, with season 23, having wrapped up, it is now time for, again, as I always say, one of my favorite parts of the SSL calendar, the Prospect Draft. Hello, everyone. I'm Metafiction, and today I'm joined by MC Lumberjack and Max.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Hey y'all, this is going to be real exciting. Glad to be able to do another one of these.
Indeed, it is a bit of a smaller class than we have had the last few classes, but that far from it. Like, it is not a class bereft of talent, I have to say. Like, there's a lot of really strong players in this class, so should be very exciting to see where players land.
For sure, some interesting movement behind the scenes as well, as you will see throughout this draft. I think it's going to be an exciting one for everyone.
I'm excited. I completely agree with Meta. There is quite a lot of real talent in this draft class that, for a smaller draft class, you wouldn't expect to see. But I think that a lot of these picks are going to make a real impact coming into the next season and seasons beyond.
Without a doubt. And of course, picks going to be even more important perhaps now than ever with the new format for next season. Of course, the splitting of the majors and minors divisions into Division 1 and Division 2, 6 teams per division. Obviously, going to see some moves that might play into that as well, with some of the teams in the higher divisions trying to make moves that extend their window, others perhaps trying to start a rebuilding process. So that's going to add an extra dimension for, as you said, Lumberjack, some of the moves that have been going around behind the scenes. It's a bit of a fascinating one. There's a few moving parts, but we'll try and keep everything straight for you here as we line out who got picked where. But congratulations, first of all, to everyone who got drafted here.
Let's get started with the first pick.
Agreed. Let's just get this underway. So Tokyo SC, who finished last in the major division, have the first overall pick here in the season 24. Second time I've gotten that number wrong. The season 24 prospect draft, and at number 1 overall, they select Bodie Grizz, user LT Black Grizzly.
So, as customary with the draft, we got some OM notes. So, although several people deserve the first overall of this draft, Grizzly has been our first overall since the first scouting combo. A great guy who's outgoing, laid back, high earning, and team first is literally everything you want in a teammate, and we couldn't bear to be without him. We're all super excited to get Grizzly in the team. Let's tell him the ball is covered in honey and put Usurus Arctos Horribilis to work. A little bit on the nose with the bear jokes, but a great pick nonetheless.
Yeah, I think a very deserving pick. Great season as well for Bodie Grizz. I assume Ursus Octos Horribilis is grizzly bear, but like the Latin name. But don't quote me on that.
I imagine, right? Yes, it is. It is. Good call.
Well, there you go. So Bodie Grizz, the first overall pick here in season 24. And Tokyo will be hoping they can contribute on the pitch in the near future. Next up, we move to 2 overall, which is held by CD Tenochtitlan. And the team from Mexico City select at second overall Turd Ferguson, user Turd Ferguson.
Third Ferguson, great pick. Of course, we have another organizational manager note. Daytona Demons legend Turd Ferguson speeds his way over to Mexico City to learn from Calvin Ball. While he played wingback for the Academy champions Victoria Fall Eagles, he'll be joining Tenochtitlan to quarterback the defense from between the posts. Turd joined the class later than others, but he shake and baked his way to the draft board. The mastermind in defensive alignment will study to become Ball's successor. So that is very interesting. Turd, a very successful left wing back, apparently going to move to goalkeeper here. Quite a positional change, but I'm sure he'll manage.
Definitely. I think that's probably, I always hear the reverse, goalkeeper comes out of the net so that they can play some kind of defensive position or any other position. But this switch is going to be interesting. All the best for Turd Ferguson.
Indeed, a very bold choice to move from the outfield into goalkeeper. We'll have to see if that pays off. But Turd Ferguson, second overall to CD Tenochtitlan. Next up at third overall is Schwarzwälder Fußballverein, the team from the Black Forest. And at third overall, they select Austin Morley, user So Evil.
So here are the manager notes. Austin Morley is a very versatile and strong defensive player. Austin covers many of our positional needs and will need a star player for us as long as he wants to. Will be a star player for us as long as he wants to. Lots of Sim League experience in the ISFL. Top-notch pick. We're very happy for this opportunity and can't wait to be so evil against opponents. Just imagine Patrick Vieira, Josko Vardiel, and Neil Ruddock mixed into one player. That is what we envision Austin Morley to be. So we have a Greg Evil in this league, and now we have another evil person, So Evil. So we're really, getting more evil as the league progresses.
Well, as a Tottenham fan, I really only like one of those names, so bodes well, I suppose.
You mean you don't like Patrick Vieira?
Well, you know. So Austin Morley to SFV, the center back, finding a new home in Germany, or perhaps in Montreal for the time being. And next up is Jalahu Cosmico. I finally said the name right. So Jalahu Cosmico at fourth overall will select Stefano Rossini, user Stee.
Stee. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first person completely new to Sim Leagues that has been picked. And the manager notes read, Rossini seemed a no-brained at fourth overall, a great user with excellent knowledge of the game that can definitely help translate to Masks staying up in Div 1 this upcoming season. Excited to have you with us. Like mentioned before by Meta, I think it's going to be extra exciting for the new prospects to instantly be thrust into a relegation promotion battle. For Stee, it's going to be a battle to stay up with Masks as they ended in the first division.
And so a strong pick for Jalahu. Stee, welcome to Jalahu/Masque Sacré. And before we move on to fifth overall, we do in fact have our first trade of the draft. So let's take a look at that, if we may. And so Catalonia receiving Leafyside's first pick next season in exchange for this pick, fifth overall, which Catalonia previously held, as well as Kel Varnson. So Kel Varnson on their way over to Ireland as a part of this draft, or trade.
This is, I think for me, a very interesting trade. Leafyside getting quite a lot for a first pick in the next draft class, but, this is a smaller draft class. Hindsight's going to be 2020 next season on where they end up in this in the next draft class.
So with this pick that now belongs to Leafyside Celtic, the Irish side will select Lisfor I Love Ziegel, user Lemonoppy.
We were surprised to see the class leader in TPE fall to fifth overall, and know Lemon is a solid user who should be a nice addition to our locker room. Very excited to be able to move up and grab Lemon here. May the luck of the Irish bless your career. And with every single Leafyside OM note comes welcome to Leafyside.
I Love Ziegel not ending up at USP with Ziegel. I don't know if he's going to be disappointed by that, but maybe it's unrelated,
Could be bulletin board material.
True. The love transcends organizations, of course.
So there you have it. Leafyside Celtic making the trade up to fifth overall and selecting Lisfor I Love Ziegel. And we actually have another trade immediately after this for sixth overall. So if we could take a look at that. And there you see AC Romana trading away 6th overall to Jalahu, who get back on the board here in the first round. And in exchange, Romana getting the second round pick of Jalahu later on in this draft, 16th overall that'll be. And in addition, they'll also get Jalahu's first rounder next draft. So a bit of a pick swap, certainly Jalahu wanting to get their way back into the first round. They saw somebody they really wanted, apparently, and Romana happy to oblige in exchange for future considerations. So Jalahu on the board here again here at 6 overall, and they select Scat Cat, user Soviet Sexpot.
Soviet was a shock to fall to us here at 6 with how active they've been around the league, and certainly a bona fide goal scorer, and thought we had to trade up to grab. In my honest opinion, one of the best users in the class. High words of praise from Xelaju, and honestly expected the top goal scorer of the academy season. Skatcat has been very impressive so far, and I think Xelaju is going to be very lucky to have added them to the roster.
They bagged like 5 goals in one game earlier in the academy season, so a striker. Yeah,
Their debut as well. First game, 5 goals.
true. You can't start off better than that. I mean, Shalakun's for sure going to be looking for a debut like that.
I think I remember reading an article from Soviet Sexpot as well, where they were like, their one goal is scoring like a brace or a hat trick, and then in their first goal game they scored 5 goals. So they should have set a higher target, maybe.
True.
Completed it, mate.
Twice over.
So there it is. Cat going to Jalahu. And now we move on back to Celtic at number 7 overall. This is going to be their second pick of this round. And at 7th overall, Leafyside Celtic select Patrick Zweig, user Saket23.
This pick also had us pleasantly surprised, as Sackett is a multi-sim league user who typically earns everywhere they play. Another solid addition to the building roster in Rova, and should lead to more and more wins and hopefully some league titles in a few more seasons. Very pleased to have Patrick Zweig lining up for us on the pitch for as long as possible. May the luck of the Irish bless your career, and of course, welcome to Leafyside.
A strong pick here at 7th overall. Zweig going to Ireland to join List for Isle of Ziegel, their previous pick in this round. Next up is 8th overall, and it's Tokyo SC back on the board. And at 8th overall, Tokyo select Stan Smith, user Armand2193.
The manager note reads, a friend of No Face and Wigo, it was a no-brainer to bring Armand to Tokyo. I can't wait to get him in the team and watch the midfield chemistry between him and Grizzly grow. Really good pick, I think, here. As some might know, No Face, Wigo, and Armand are real-life friends. They've known each other for a long time, so having that dynamic trio in the same club is really special to see.
And I think a team that's looking to grow their midfield is a team that's planning for the future. You don't have football without a midfield, you know? So really good pick from Tokyo, especially after a season that left them with a lot of disappointment.
And you really cannot underestimate the role of locker room chemistry in an organization. They're really trying to build something there in Tokyo, I think.
Exactly. And you can't go wrong with a render of Iniesta as well if you're on a midfield.
So Stan Smith to Tokyo at number 8, and then number 9 for the third time in 5 picks. It is Leafyside Celtic on the board. So Celtic for the third time this draft already will take Auto Rocket, user PrayL107. Sorry, PrayL07.
Is it L or I? Whatever. Pray.
That's a very good question.
Pray I or L07, however you say it. Auto Rocket was a late addition to the party, as Auto Rocket just created in mid-December. I fully believe that Auto has been created earlier. Pray could have been a top 3 pick, and this is going to be a steal for us at 9. Plus, I was a huge Rocket Power fan as a kid. This may be my favorite render/player name in the entire league now. May the luck of the Irish bless your career, and of course, welcome to Leafy Side.
I feel like we've heard "Welcome to Leafy Side" on virtually every pick so far. They really seem to have gone all in on this first round in this draft. Really good pickup so far from Leafy Side.
You know what they say, go big or go home. But I'm gonna hear "Welcome to Leafy Side" when I'm going to sleep tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So Celtic with their 3rd pick in the first round, adding Otto Rocket. Next up, we actually have 2 picks by the same team at 10 and 11. First off, at number 10, it is Buenos Aires, and they select at 10th overall John Boy Mayava. I hope I said that right. User KiwiFooty12.
And they say, excited to bring in John Boy. They were very enthusiastic for the league, and Athens really needed a third comp player who is versatile and can play a good assist machine. I wonder if they are from New Zealand. I don't know if anyone has that information.
If their name is KiwiFooty, I'd put my money on it.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
they just really like kiwi fruit.
That's also an option.
That's an option. That's an option. That's
Which is
for
also
sure.
valid.
He
Well,
lives in
whatever
like
the reason.
Antarctica.
Well, whatever the reason, John Boy Mayava, I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if not. The first of 2 players in a row to Buenos Aires, who are now once again on the clock. And at 11th overall, they will select Vumion Stitcherson, user Vumion.
I love the player render, just to start out, but here's the OM note. Vomian was wonderful to scout, and I was glad to be able to take them at 11th overall here. They'll be instrumental to Athens backline and bolster the rebuild that has started there with S Fresh and I.
Yeah, very good render.
Once again, the render game absolutely on point. And by the way, can I just say the draft graphics for all of these have been absolutely incredible as always. So shout out to the graphics team for putting those together. It has to be said. Really bringing this to life. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, really outdone themselves as every year.
So we have one more pick here in the first round, and that is owned by Hollywood FC. And at 12th overall, they select... Oh, I apologize. I completely missed that there's a trade. Oh, geez. I did it again. So, Hollywood actually receives this pick from... Well, they actually... It seems as though they previously owned this pick, and they get it back from Catalunya. In exchange, they also get Catalunya's 3rd rounder in Season 25. In exchange, Catalunya receives Hollywood's Season 25 second rounder. I have completely hashed this trade, and I apologize to everyone. But Hollywood regaining their pick here at 12th overall, and so they select Juju Zhang, user David Lost T7.
The manager note reads, David Lost is new to Sim Leagues, but his enthusiasm made an immediate impression during our scouting conversations. We spent time talking through how Sim Leagues work, how the SSL is structured, and the current meta tactics. When the opportunity arose to trade into the first round, we jumped at it. We're super excited to have secured a promising young winger and a user who can contribute both to the locker room and with tactics. Welcome to Hollystad. And yeah, interesting. It's good to see that Hollywood apparently changed their minds with not having this pick anymore and trading back into it again. And it must means they did actually see something in Xuzu Yang or David Lost.
I think it's really interesting to see that like Catalunya has completely traded out of this this draft. So I think that Hollywood really going in this first round, especially, and for the rest of this draft, it's going to be interesting to see who else they pick up.
And so Juju Jiang to Hollywood at 12th overall, and that concludes the first round of the draft. Guys, anything stand out to you so far?
Leafy Side's 3 picks in 5, I think, is an automatic standout. I like to see expansion sides like go all in, especially for a draft that doesn't have that many players in it just altogether. So good for them.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think definitely the dichotomy between Liffey's side fully trading in and Catalunya fully trading out is interesting to see how they both had a very, very different idea of this draft.
For sure.
Certainly a lot of long-term strategies being formulated here as we speak. As you say, a bit of a contrast between the likes of Schwarzwalder, or not Schwarzwalder, but Leafy Side and Jalahu versus teams like Catalunya who traded out, and Hollywood who didn't have a first-round pick until that trade. So remains to be seen how it works out for each team, but in the meantime, we are on to the second round, and at 13 overall, it is Tokyo SC on the board once again, and they select I believe, there we go, Brad Wolf, user Brad Wolf.
I can't stop laughing at the 5 dogs. Goalkeeper's always a tricky spot to lock down, and when someone friendly, chilled out, and passionate about playing goalkeeper comes along, it's always a goal to bring them into the team. We all expected Brad to go first round, so to bring him in at 13th pick is amazing for us, and continues our VFE draft. You think you could create a 5-a-side like team with these dogs?
I will say, can we get the rule book out, because I'm not sure you can have 5 dogs in the.
Well,
in
here's
the,
the
in the
thing.
goal.
Here's the thing. Ain't no rule says a dog can't play soccer.
But maybe there's a rule that 5 dogs can't play soccer.
TBD.
Okay.
You're gonna have to ask the BOD, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, Brad Wolf, the first pick off the board here in the second round, going to Tokyo SC. Getting some help in goal. And next up, it is Buenos Aires on the board once again. Their third pick of the draft so far. And at 14th overall, they select Oscar Acton, user Sen.
Sen was quiet yet stoic. A vet of PBE, we're happy to bring in an experienced Tim Leaguer at 14 overall. They will likely be our new player up top for the coming season, and I'm excited to see what they can do. A lot of trust there on Oscar Acton, and I just realized it's Oscar Acton. I've thought it was Oscar Action this entire time.
You want to put an I in there, don't you? ACTION, but Acton it is. And so actually, after this pick, we have our first pass of the draft, which is a little surprising. We don't usually see passes this early, at least not in the last few seasons. But that means that 15th overall has been passed on, and next up is AC Romana at 16th overall. And so at 16, Romana select Meister Blabe, user Jelly.
These renders are just getting better and better. As we remember, AC Romana traded back down into this draft into the second round. So here's the manager note. Somehow we got to steal the pick in the second round with OTK joining Paris. We wanted an attacking player to fill his shoes. They're big shoes. I think Meister Blaby is more than qualified for this job, but might not be instant in both. Sydney still produces quality players. London will be very happy to welcome Blaby here as we fight for promotion to Div 1.
Yeah, something tells me London is going to be very familiar environs for this particular player. Don't know why, just a feeling.
This is a very interesting pick. I think this could turn out as the steal of the century. I think Mr. Blobby is still one of the top TPE players. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out for AC Romana.
I think it's only up from here. I mean, 10 goals in your academy season isn't bad by any metrics, but you're going. I know that AC Milano and their staff are really big on fighting for promotion, and I mean, along with everyone else in Div 2. But I think AC Romana had a kind of bite to them, including Inter London early in the season, fizzled out. So I think that Meister Blobby might be that guy to keep the bite going.
Romana will certainly be hoping so. So Meister Blabe to Romana London. And for the next pick, I actually remembered it this time. We have a trade for this pick, this being 17th overall. And so Sao Paulo, again, benefiting from Catalonia trading out of this draft, receiving this pick, 17th overall, as well as Hollywood's season 25 second that was traded earlier, I believe. And in return, Catalonia receiving Sao Paulo's second and fourth in the next draft. So with that trade, Sao Paulo will actually be on the board twice in a row here, much like Buenos Aires was earlier. And so here at 17th overall, Sao Paulo will select Jonathan Jameston, user Joriel.
Yes, as a member of Sao Paulo, I'm going to be very excited to welcome Joriel in the fold. The manager comment is the following. Joriel is a user we know well, and we had a really great scouting conversation with him. Summer, our OM, is in the both teams in the SHL in Seattle and the ISFL with him. You were among the first few that we really wanted to bring in USP ASP, and we're surprised to see you available till 70 overall. Add in the fact that Summerstoot, I'm the person who has referred you to this league. We are even more excited to have you become an integral part of the future. We can't wait to bring you on board, and the future is bright as long as you don't retire early. Welcome to the team, fellow Capybara.
Summerstood really plugging his referral rates in this message.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get a player into the league and then be able to bring them in via the draft, that's a huge boost to both the player and the organization, because that chemistry is already built. So certainly a really good pick, especially this late in the draft by Sao Paulo. And Sao Paulo on the clock again here at 18 overall, and with their second pick in a row, they will select Takaharu Suzuki, user Sajkashi.
I had a Suzuki when I was younger, so we still can't believe that we found him in this league through ChatGPT. That is wild. Maybe AI is good for something. Also, we believe you are the first Slovakian to join in our team. So hey, good to have a person from another nationality join in our diverse group of folks here. Let's hope you are past all your injury and visa issues, and you can fully focus on your true passion, cookie clicker. I mean, clicking the activity check button. Super excited to have you join us. Welcome to the team, fellow Capybara. Cookie clicker is a very valid pastime. Passion, not even pastime. I think that the more people that are really going into cookie clicker as a career, the better it's going to be for them. The soccer thing's a side hobby for them, of course.
Yeah, and that's really what we value at USP.
Makes you wonder when we're having a sim cookie clicker league.
Who can click the most?
So there you have it, Suzuki to Sao Paulo at 18th overall. And then 19th overall, once again, we have a pass. And then at 20 overall, we have a very interesting situation that we'll tell you about here. So first of all, the pick currently owned by Reykjavik United. So at 20 overall, Reykjavik United select Robert Robertson, user Arctic. However, we also have a bit of a development here in the form of a trade regarding this pick. So there you go. Robert Robertson actually traded to Tokyo immediately in exchange for Tokyo's season 25 fourth rounder. So some very interesting developments there.
Very
but I believe
interesting. Yeah, and we have, of of course, a manager note here from Tokyo. Arctic is somebody who is always a joy to have in the locker room. And while there was some confusion regarding the pick here, he was always the player we had our eye on when we acquired and then unacquired and then worked to make it happen anyway. It was also his birthday yesterday, and when I heard we were taking him 20th on his 20th birthday, I knew it was nothing short of fate. So he'll already be traded before his first game in the minor leagues, and you'll never take that away from him.
So by way of some clarification, I don't know if this is the actual story. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the trade for this pick was finalized before the pick was made, but it wasn't able to go through before the pick could be. It was agreed, but then it couldn't be confirmed, and so the pick was made, and then the trade was made immediately after. So that is my understanding of the situation. But there you have it. Robert Robertson, despite what the graphic says, going to Tokyo SC rather than Reykjavik United.
Yeah, I think what happened is that Reykjavik, due to time constraints, kind of missed the clock by a little bit. And after the fact, they had to basically just restructure the trade, which wasn't too heavy at all.
So now at 21, Tokyo get another pick. And so at 21 overall, Tokyo SC will select Nick Dusk, user Hello Beeper.
In Dusk's half, the ball grows heavy. Passes lose conviction. When the Dusk falls across the pitch, opposing strikers feel a distance close between them and his gaze. Even when he does not move, between Rascal and Dusk, attackers forget their own names. That's incredibly ominous. I'm a little bit scared at this point. Thankfully, they're in the minors.
I think
it has to be said, Tokyo do have form for this. They are the organization that drafted Terminus Ultimus a few seasons back.
They did.
I think we it just turned a little bit slam poetry vibe. I don't know who wrote that note, but it was beautiful.
And a little bit of context, Hello Beeper has previously been in this league, I believe a longtime member of the Hollywood Capstad organization, so returning to the SSL and picked up here by Tokyo Cairo. So after this pick, we have 3 more passes before we get to Tokyo again, and although this pick was slightly spoiled by that manager note, at 25 overall, Tokyo select Sergio Rascal, user Panacook. I hope I said that right.
Pannenkoek. It's a Dutch name. This man occupies defensive midfield like a condemned building. Nothing good happens there. And tackles are legal, but feel like they shouldn't be. His intangibles include dread, inevitability, and a tendency to make opposing teams reconsider their life choices when he takes the ball away from them. Once again, the Tokyo OM was in a mood here, and I rated it.
I mean, when you get to hear some just fantastic poetry and prose from an OM, I'm not gonna stay away from it. But can we get them can we have the own section of a forum just for people to put poetry, please?
Yeah, yes, should be graded differently than articles.
So there you have it. It was pronounced Panacook, you said?
Pannenkoek.
Panacook. Okay. So there you go. Sergio Rascal, user Panacook, going to Tokyo Cairo at 25th overall. Now we move on to 26th overall, where Buenos Aires are on the clock, and they select Tito Esposito, user Coach SJ35.
I was surprised to see Coach here 26, but I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not too sure what that means. Also, classic name in Tito Esposito. Can't get enough of that. The mob boss will be our anchor in the middle, breaking ankles and taking names. I thought the mafia breaks kneecaps. There's that.
No, Ankles, kneecaps, any joint really.
Sure, sure. Does he get like a mandatory crowbar that he can take onto the pitch with him, or is that like against SSL rules?
It's
don't
only
think there
against
is.
rules if you get caught.
Yeah,
Too true, too true.
So there you have it. Tito Esposito to Buenos Aires at 26. Next up at 27, it is the return of Schwarzwälder Fußballverein. Haven't picked since 3rd overall. But here in the later stages of the draft at 27, Schwarzwälder select Jerry Kirkland, user ChaserCK.
Montreal heavily values versatility and flexibility these days, so we're happy to have Jerry around to play up at attacking mid or at the wingback. Attacking mid and wingback, that is certainly a distribution of positions you don't see every day.
Versatility is important in this league, that's for sure.
Without a doubt. So there you have it. Kirkland to SFV at 27. Next up, once again, returning to the clock, it is Jalahu Cosmico. They picked a couple of times up in the first round at 4th and 6th overall. Haven't had a selection since then, but now come back at 28 to select Peach Toadstool, user Wildfire Micro.
Micro falling this far also seems to be a blessing in disguise for us in Shalaku. We hope we can have a dynamic duo of 2 of our rookie strikers lighting up the pitch this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think they have Soviet Sexbot and Wildfire Micro, who also played up top in their academy team. So they already have the chemistry is already there.
Not a doubt. A bit of a surprise that WFN dropped this far, but certainly Jalahu not going to be complaining. They've got a really solid talent here, I think.
Yeah, I think Jalahu
So we now
has had a really good draft. Stee, Soviet Sexbot, and Wildfire Micro is a nice haul for this draft.
Indeed. And so we now have a slew of passes, 6 to be precise, as we come down to pick number 35 overall. And that is AC Romana, who will select Alan Gray, user Rager.
And the comment is, with attack settled in our previous pick, who better to get than a fellow Sydney teammate? Alan Gray comes into London to increase our midfield quality and depth. We hope to see synergy from the former Sydney players as we aim for first place in Minor Division 2. I think AC Romana has mentioned promotion in every single comment they've made so far.
They're really going for it, you know. And props to them.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Alan Gray to Romana, and on we go through a few more past picks, all the way down to Romana again at 42 overall. And once again, this pick has a little bit of an interesting story behind it, as at 42 overall, AC Romana will select Hunter Jackson, user Hunter D Jackson 2004. However, once again, as before, we have a trade featuring this pick. And so Schwarzwälder Fußballverein have traded to receive Hunter Jackson, and in exchange, Romana getting Schwarzwälder Fußballverein's season 25 fourth round pick.
Some late breaking news put Hunter on our radar, so we quickly got in touch with Romana to work a deal. We're looking forward to help him develop into a great keeper. This is the 3rd keeper that SFV has now.
Really rivaling the Brad Wolf situation there.
Certainly an interesting situation developing there. Don't want to speculate what the late-breaking news might have been, but clearly SFV seeing an opportunity to pick up a talented player, and so there you have it. Hunter Jackson to Schwarzwälder.
Definitely interesting to see in this draft that even though it was a small class, a lot of trading happening, a lot of late player swaps and drama behind the scenes. Even with little players, there's always things happening in the background.
I think this is like one of the drafts where like the most action has happened, and I think it's purely just because we've had just so many different like we don't have that many players, so people just, when they want a player, they're gonna have to go and get it.
Exactly.
And that is going to be that for the Season 24 SSL Prospect Draft. What did you guys think? Anything's particularly standing out for either of you?
I think Blobby falling to where he did, on one hand maybe expected, other hand still surprising. Same with Wildfire Micro, little surprising, and all the little trades in between were very interesting to see. I think in the end, both Liffey Side and Xalaju and Tokyo, by the way, had a very good and prosperous draft. I think they can be very happy.
I think Kaba is going to fall under the radar with this draft. 4 picks between the 2 rounds, I think is nothing short of very interesting. And I think they're another one of the teams with a little bit more longevity than AC Romana this last season that really had like a lot of fight in them and then teetered out towards the end of the season. So when you have just a good draft class like this, you're really bolstering that potential to maybe not fall short next time.
I do want to again highlight that there's some very disparate and very intriguing strategies on offer here in this draft. I mean, I think the two of the biggest contrasting sides are Tokyo and Catalonia. Tokyo picking up a total of 6 players once the trades are accounted for, whereas Catalonia trading out of the draft entirely in exchange for trying to go all in on the next draft. Perhaps Catalonia deciding that next draft is where they're going to put most of their focus on, whereas Tokyo clearly wanting to assemble their young rebuilding core now.
Exactly, and only time will tell which one of these strategies is going to pay off.
But I believe, unless there's anything else, I believe that's about it. Once again, congratulations to everybody who was picked today. And remember, just because you may have been picked lower than you might have expected, that doesn't mean that you can't be an effective part of your organization. So many times we've seen players that have been picked late, or in some cases not even picked at all, that have gone on to be a huge factor for their organizations, making names for themselves in the league. So don't get downhearted if you ended up going later on. But certainly, congratulations to everyone.
Oh, one more thing. Guess what's coming up this Tuesday? In my opinion, the most interesting part of the SSL, the World Simulation Football Classic, is starting this Tuesday. Get ready, get hyped. We're gonna have some great commentary coming up for this section of the year. And yeah, I mean, just in terms of the draft, I think that, I mean, I was a 4th round pick. I think MC Lumberjack said that they were a 3rd round. We've both done pretty interesting things for this league. And another plug, commentator spots are gonna be opening up at the start of next season. So if this was fun to listen to, think about how fun it would be to participate.
For sure. Once again, World Cup coming up. It's going to be very interesting. Support your team, even if you're not playing. You can be on the sidelines cheering everyone up. It's going to be amazing.
Real. MC Lumberjack was a 1st rounder, not a 3rd rounder. I don't know where I got the 3rd round from. I guess I'm just the 4th round guy here.
I will say, Summer Spook, our current OM, was, I think, 4th round. So he did pretty well for himself. 3rd. That's it.
The point is, whatever round you're taking, you don't have a ceiling. You guys, no matter what round you're taking, the sky's the limit. I think that's the message here.
Juke is the limit. Let's be real.
Well, I don't know about that. But nevertheless, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to Max and MC Lumberjack. And of course, thank you to our commissioner, Candidace, for running these slides, without whom not just this draft, but this entire league really couldn't exist in the form it does. So, huge shouts out to Candidace for everything. And again, thank you to my co-commentators, Max and MC Lumberjack. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you to Meta. Thank you to Lumberjack. Thank you to Canna. The goats.
Yeah, thanks for Meta for the great hosting as always, professional. And I hope everyone has a very nice day.
But thank you so much for joining us for this Season 24 SSL Prospect Draft. Season 24 will start in a few weeks, but first, as has been mentioned, the World Simulation Football Classic starting this Tuesday. We hope you'll join us for that, but until then, on behalf of Candidace, of course, as well as Max and MC Lumberjack, this has been Metafiction. Take care.
Cheers.